Hi guys, this is Sadak from Droidwin.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to unlock the bootloader and then root the OnePlus 11 and the OnePlus 11R phone via Magisk Patch init boot file. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First and foremost, you will have to get hold of Android SDK platform tools. So get it from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You could extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I've done the extraction in C drive, and these are the files of platform tools. Once you've done the extraction, you will now have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. USB debugging is required for ADB commands, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's now enable both this toggle. For that, go to the settings menu on your phone. From there, you have to go to about device, then go to version and tap on version number 7 times. You will get a prompt that you are now a developer. Once that happens, go back, again go back, now go to additional settings, and you should now see developer option. Go there and enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking and tap on enable. Likewise, enable the toggle next to USB debugging and tap on OK. You might get an RC key prompt as well. So if this is your own PC, you may also checkmark always allow and then tap on allow. And with this, debugging is now enabled. Let's verify the same. So go to platform tool folder address bar, type in CMD and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside platform tools. Now type in ADB devices and hit enter and make sure that you are getting an ID. If you are not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out this USB tweaks and make sure that you're getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, your next course of action is to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do note that unlocking the bootloader will wipe off all the data and it might make the warranty null and void as well. If that's well and good, then you could refer to a guide and the video and get this job done. Still, I'll show you once again how you could carry out this task. So we are done with step 1, we are done with step 2 as well, and we'll now have to boot our phone to the fast boot mode. So let's do that as well. So open CMD window and type in ADB reboot bootloader and hit enter, and your phone will now reboot into fast boot mode. It will take just a few seconds for that to happen. So let's just wait and then we will proceed ahead with the next step. Once it's in the fast boot mode, you will now have to type in fast boot devices and hit enter and make sure that you're getting an ID. If you're not getting any ID, then you'll have to install fast boot drivers on your PC. I made a separate guide and a video on the same. You could refer to my guide and get the job done. Once you've installed the drivers, right click on the Windows icon and choose device manager. Then expand the Android phone section and make sure that your phone is being shown as Android bootloader interface. So this, as well as the serial ID next to fast boot, signify that your PC is able to read the phone in fast boot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. So now you could unlock the bootloader using the single command fast boot flashing unlock. So simply copy the command and paste it here and hit enter. Currently, as you could see, we are getting a log message which signifies that the bootloader is logged. So we'll now have to unlock it. So simply type in fast boot flashing unlock. You will now get a prompt on your phone. Use the volume key to highlight, unlock the bootloader, and press the power key to confirm. With this, your phone will now undergo a reset, and after that, the bootloader will be unlocked. You will also get an orange state warning message. You can remove the warning sign by making some changes to the abl.img file. I'll make a separate video on the same as well. In the meantime, you may simply ignore this orange state. This will not conflict with the boot up process. It's completely normal and nothing to worry about. So let's just wait for the format to get complete, and once that is done, your phone will now automatically boot to the OS. Do keep in mind that the first boot up will take up some time. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. Let me still show you. Let's wait for the boot animation to appear, and this is the boot animation. It could now take up to around 30 to 40 seconds for the phone to boot up. So let's just wait. So guys, our phone is now booted to the OS. If you get a debugging prompt, tap on allow, and let me now set up the phone. As of now, I'll skip the initial setup process. If you want, you may restore the data right now, but I am not doing so right now. I am simply skipping it. Let me skip the Wi-Fi as well. That is not required for now. Tap on accept the terms and condition. Let me skip the unlock method as well for now. And so I have seen a few reports wherein some have said that they are not able to set up a fingerprint or a PIN or password. If that is the case with you as well, then the only fix is to boot your phone to the fast boot mode once again. Then use the fast boot flashing lock command to lock the bootloader. Then again re-enable OEM unlocking, again boot to fastboot mode, then once again relock the bootloader via fastboot flashing unlock command, and do so around 4-5 times until the issue is rectified. So once again I am repeating, if you are facing any issue with regards to the PIN, pattern, password or fingerprint, then re-enable OEM unlocking, boot your phone to fastboot mode and type in fastboot flashing lock. This will lock the bootloader. After that, once again re-enable OEM unlocking, then type in fastboot flashing unlock, and you might have to do so for around 4 to 5 times until the issue is rectified from your end. So that only happens in some cases. So with that said, we are now inside the OS and the bootloader is now unlocked. Let's verify the same. So go to the settings menu, and from there go to additional settings and go to developer option. So let's enable that once again. Go to about device, version, and tap on version number 7 times. You will get that you are now a developer. Go back, go to additional settings, developer option, and as you could see, the OEM unlocking is showing as bootloader is unlocked. So with this, we are done with this step. Let's now move ahead with the next step. Next up, you will now have to get hold of the firmware for your phone. Do keep in mind that this should be the same stock firmware which is currently installed onto your phone. You could verify the same by going to the settings menu on your phone, then go to about device, then go to version, and keep a note of the version number, and please make sure that the firmware that you are downloading is exactly the same as given here. Otherwise the routing will not work. So you may either download the firmware from our page. If it is available there, we will keep on updating the firmware over here in my guide. These are the OTA updates. This is the OFP and EDL package. You could skip from as of now because OFP are only required for unbricking the phones, so that is not required now. You could keep a track of our OTA updates, or if the firmware is not given here, you could also do one thing. First off, install all the pending updates and make sure that you are on the latest available update. So in my case, at the time of recording, this is the latest available update. Once you're on the latest update and there are no pending updates, download and install the Oxygen Updater app from Play Store. So this is the app. Let me show you. This is the Play Store version of the app. Just give me a minute. So I'll be using the Oxygen Updater app from Play Store. Simply install the latest OTA or update from your phone. Once that is done, install the Updater app from Play Store. This is the app. So let's install it as well. So now launch the app, and then make sure that your phone is being shown as the correct phone. After that, under the update method, select stable full and tap on start app, tap on allow, and as of now you could see there is no pending updates. That is why we haven't got any firmware or stock firmware to download. If you are on an older version, you will get an update, but currently we are on the latest build, so we don't have any firmware. So what you could do is go to the settings menu. After that, go to the advanced section and enable the toggle next to it. Tap on enable. Now once again go back to the download section, and you could see that we have now got the download update option. Tap on download update and the file will now be downloaded onto your phone. Once the file has been downloaded, it will be shown something like this. It will be randomly named, or it should be named as CPH. I have done the renaming in my case, but in your case the file will be something along the following lines. Let me show you once. So it should be something randomly named in alphanumeric characters. That's well and good. So simply get hold of the firmware file, the latest file. Once you have got the file, let's now proceed ahead. Again I am repeating, please verify that it's of the same firmware version which is currently installed onto your phone. If that's well and good, as you could see, in my case the app has got the firmware which is corresponding to CPH 2447, which is the device code name for the region India, and then we have the 1400810EX01. And if I now go to the settings menu, you could see it's the same 1400810EX01 with the region CPH 2447. If that's well and good and you have got the firmware file, make sure to transfer the file onto your PC. So we have done the transfer. Let me show you. So it should be somewhat here itself. So this is the transferred file. Over here we have got the firmware. It will be in a zip format. Extract the zip and you will get a payload.bin file. And now we will have to extract the payload bin file. So for extracting the payload bin, you will have to download the Fastboot Enhance tool. You may get it from my guide. Once you have extracted the Fastboot Enhance tool, transfer the payload bin file from the stock firmware inside the Fastboot Enhance folder. After that, let's now launch the Fastboot Enhance tool. So launch the tool via the exe file. Then go to payload dumper, click on browse, choose the payload bin file, click on open, go to partition, choose the init boot file, check mark allow incremental, extract image, choose a location, click on OK. It will now extract the init boot file. Once that is done, you may close the tool and let's verify. As you could see, we have now got the init boot file. So copy the init boot file from here and transfer the init boot file inside the platform folder on your PC. So let's transfer it here. This is the stock init boot file. Please keep a backup of this file because if something goes wrong, we could easily flash the file and rectify all the issue. So please make sure to have a backup of this file. And just to be on the safer side, I will also recommend you to rename it to something to the exact version number as well, because this init boot is only compatible with the current firmware version. It will not work with any other firmware version. So if you are taking a backup, then a much better approach will be to rename the file to its firmware version as well, so that it could easily be identified if you want. So this is the stock init boot file which we have got. Next up, you will now have to patch this file and obtain boot via Magisk. So let's proceed ahead with the next step. Now that we have got the firmware file, so now you will have to patch the file. For patching the file, you will have to download the Magisk app onto your phone. For that, go to my guide and from here you may download the latest Magisk file. At the time of recording, it's the version 27. So download the Magisk version 27 APK file from here and then transfer the APK file onto your phone. Let me do that as well. This is the Magisk APK file. Let me transfer it here. Once you have transferred the file, also transfer the stock init boot file which we have just extracted from the payload bin file. So as of now, you should have both the Magisk APK and the stock init boot file, which should correspond to the same version number which is currently installed onto your phone. Once you have got both the files, let's proceed ahead with the next step. So now launch the file manager app and first off install the Magisk APK file onto your phone. Once that is done, tap on open, tap on allow, then tap on install next to Magisk, then choose select and patch a file. Now you will have to choose the stock init boot file, which is this one in my case, and tap on let's go. Magisk will now patch the file and will take only a few seconds. Once that is done, go to the downloads folder on your phone and you could see this is the Magisk patch init boot file. So copy the file from your phone and transfer the file inside the platform folder on your PC. So now let's rename the file to something more meaningful. So let's rename it to Magisk patch init boot. So mpib.img, which is the Magisk patch init boot file. So now that we have got the patch file, we could now flash it onto our phone. For flashing, we'll first have to boot our phone to the fastboot mode. So let's get that job done as well. So open the CMD window inside platform tool folder. Now type in adb reboot bootloader and hit enter. We have already verified the fastboot connection while we were unlocking the bootloader, but still I'll show you once again what needs to be done. So once you are inside the fastboot mode, type in fastboot devices and hit enter and make sure that you are getting an ID. If you are not getting any ID, then you will have to install fastboot drivers. I have made a separate guide and a video on the same. You could refer to my guide and get the job done. Once you have installed the drivers and you are getting this ID, let's now proceed ahead with the next step. So now you will have to flash the Magisk patch init boot file. Do note that as opposed to the boot file, you cannot temporarily boot the init boot file. You have no option but to simply flash the file permanently. For instance, in case of the boot file, in case if you have a patch boot file, then you could simply use the fastboot boot command and then use the patch boot file to temporarily boot your phone to the OS and then check if it's working or not. But if we talk about the init boot file, then you cannot use the fastboot boot init boot.img command will not work. So this command will not work. You don't have any other option, but you will have to use the flash command and get the job done. You cannot temporarily boot the init boot file. This is the major drawback when compared with the boot file, but we don't have any other way out. You might be able to use the kernel SU, but we are not discussing that as of now. We are using the Magisk, and in case of Magisk, you cannot temporarily boot the init boot file. You will only have to permanently flash the file, and for that you will have to use the command fastboot flash partition name, which is init boot, and file name, which in our case is mpib.img. So mpib.img and hit enter, and the flashing is now complete. Once that is done, type in fastboot reboot and your phone will now reboot to the OS. Do keep in mind that as of now the rooting process is done in the back end, but in the front end, Magisk might still require you to flash a few additional files. That usually takes around a few seconds. So as soon as the phone boots to the OS, you will have to launch the Magisk app and install a few dependency as well. So our phone is now inside the OS. So first thing first, launch the Magisk app and you might now get a prompt. So simply tap on OK. Magisk will now install additional dependency and then automatically reboot your phone to the OS. It will take a few more seconds, so let's just wait. And in most cases, the routing is now complete, but in some cases, Magisk might once again ask you to carry out a few additional steps in the form of direct install. So if it asks, well and good. If it does not ask, that is also not a cause of concern. In both ways, if it asks you to carry out any additional step, then simply you have to do a direct install, but that rarely happens. In most cases, we should have obtained root by now, so let's verify the same. In both the cases, it's not a cause of concern. Simply launch the Magisk app and let's now verify the result. So as you could see, Magisk is not asking anything whatsoever. If in your case Magisk is still asking anything, then simply tap on install and choose direct install and tap on let's go and your task stands complete. But since Magisk is not asking anything, this signifies that the routing is now successful and now we have obtained root and you may now carry out the required task of your choice. To verify the root, let me show you a couple of proof as well. So this is a Termux app and one more app. Let me take a couple of apps for the sake of reference. Root checker app. So let's transfer both these apps onto my phone. Just give me a second and I'll show you that I have obtained root via both these apps. So we have now got these apps onto our phone. Let me launch the Files app and install the APKs. First is the root checker app. This is the app which we are using since ages. So simply launch the app, tap on allow, agree, get started. Then tap on verify root and you will now get a Magisk request. Tap on grant and as you could see, we have obtained root and it's Android 14 on OnePlus 11. Likewise, let me install one more app. This is the Termux app. Let me launch it, install it and tap on open, tap on allow. Now if I type in SU and hit enter, you will get a super user request. Tap on grant and with this we have obtained root and we could now access the data partition. You could verify all this from here as well, from the Magisk super user section. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. The entire steps are quite easy. You just have to keep in mind a couple of things. First and foremost, you will have to use the init boot file and not the boot file. Secondly, the init boot file should be extracted from the same stock firmware which is currently installed onto your phone. You could verify the same from the version section. So download the exact same firmware either from my website or from any third-party site of your choice or using the Oxygen Updater app. Once you have got the firmware, extract it using the Fastboot Enhance tool. Upon extracting, you will get a couple of files. Simply extract the init boot file, and once you have extracted the init boot file, transfer the file inside platform tools folder, and this is the file which we have got. Then patch the file via Magisk and then flash it via fastboot command, and then open your phone, open the Magisk app, and it will ask for a additional setup as you could see in the screenshot. So just tap on OK in the additional setup, and with this you will have obtained root and your task stands complete. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.